today I'm going to show you how to make the very popular Brita style Charlie bag. At this point you should have already printed out your pattern and taped it together. I use packing tape to hold it together better, gives you more stability. This piece is the piece that is the little pouch that your bag can go into, and this is what it looks like cut out of fabric. So I'm going to do my project today on the serger because then you have all these nice finished edges and don't have to worry about it. So step one is to do your short edges. So we're going to do that first. So it says on the pattern to use 5/8. Use your judgment. I kind of wing it. It's cool. It's a little project. So then you do the other side. And then to make the pouch, the directions are a little confusing. So I decided the best way to do it is to just fold them in and make them like a little tissue packet. And then this makes it so you cannot attach it to the bag like the directions say, but I like it better not attached. So I decided that's how I want to do it. So now I'm going to serge these shut. And just hold it because you can't pin on a serger because it cuts while it sews. If you pin, you lose an eye. If you need to hold it together while you're sewing and you can't pin it, glue stick works. It's great. Okay, now sew the other side. And now you have your handy dandy little tissue pouch looking bag that you can shove your Charlie bag in when you don't need it. So this is your pattern piece for your Charlie bag. And it's a big bag actually when it's finished. So the first thing you're going to do is take your first piece and open it up. And we are going to serge around all these edges so you have nice finished edges. That's your first edge, and then your second one. And when you're doing a curve, pull it straight. And then shift it and pull it straight again. You won't lose your nice curve. So there's that piece. I'm doing it in black so you can see it, and I think it looks cool. So choose your thread however you want. If you wanted it to just blend, you'd use white. And then you pull it straight when you get to your curve. So we're just going to do the same exact thing to your second piece. One more serger tip would be to practice a bunch before you start on your bag so you know it's all set up how you want it to look. And I'm pulling it straight in the curve again. I'm using a narrower seam allowance because I like a big fat handle. So whatever seam allowance you pick, just stick with it. Doesn't really matter what it is. directions say to sew the handles together. So you would assume you would sew this piece to that piece, but oh no, you sew this piece to itself to make your handle. So we'll do that real quick. And again, if you weren't experienced with just holding it together, you could glue stick it right there to help you hold it together. Okay, and then you do the same thing with the second piece. Hold it in on itself, sew it together, get all your stringies out. So now you have your two bag pieces. We're going to put them together. So I just lay it down flat, match them up. Again, this is where you would use glue stick if you needed glue stick. Or if you were sewing on a regular sewing machine and not a serger, you could use pins. So that's one side done. And then you just match up the top edges of the other side. Alright, and to do the bottom, you could just simply sew across, but then you would have a really narrow bag to give your bag some depth. There's markings on the pattern, but I like to just wing it, because I just wing it. And fold it in about the length of your finger. So it's folded like this. And then you serge that. When you're about halfway done, you got to make sure you fold up your other side about the same length of your finger. If this were a fancy party dress, I'd be measuring. It's a grocery bag. And voila, you have your lovely Charlie bag. So you turn it inside out. You've got your cute little edges. And there you go.